Round 23 of the Premier League is just around the corner, and we have some exciting games lying in wait. It promises to be pretty interesting based on the fixtures we have. But without beating around the bush, Victor, let's go straight into some of the talking points that we could be seeing for this round. And the first one is starting with West Ham. Despite their poor form of late, why do you think the bookmakers have them as slight favourites against Sunderland?
I think it has more to do with Sunderland's away form rather than West Ham being any good whatsoever.
Yeah.
Sunderland have not won a game on the road in the Prem since late October. They beat Chelsea in West London. That's 3 months ago. I do believe this is where they break that particular duck, though, because West Ham are actually quite poor at home. The last time they won a Prem game at home was early November against Burnley. So the fact that the odds are skewed that way, I think it's more about Sunderland than it is West Ham, but this is where it stops, I believe.
Interesting one. Over to you, Mark. Spurs are 4 Premier League games without a win, but do you think they'll be able to return to winning ways against Burnley?
I mean, they definitely better too, because it feels like this is probably the decisive game for Frank's future at Spurs, because if he cannot win against another heavy outsider team, it feels like management can already realize that he's not the type of manager they want to have at big club, even though they're not that big recently, but they still belong to this top six, big six teams. So I'd say in terms of form, both teams are not really great, but Spurs even look better on road than at home. We all saw that really bad start for them at Hotspur Stadium. So I'd say they're still a favorites, but if they cannot win this game, it's gonna be a pretty tough time for Frank.
Interesting one. Back to you, Victor. After surprise losses to Manchester United and most recently Bodo and Glimt in midweek, do you think City will surely return to winning ways against Wolves?
Yes, absolutely. I don't see Wolves getting anything out of this one. They have shown signs of life recently, okay, but this is still a game against City at the Etihad. Okay, Wolves might actually score. So if anyone wants to go with a BTTS here, you can't really hold it against them because the City defense is just in shambles. But I think that's all the damage they'll be able to do.
Fair enough. Interesting. And back to you, Max. What kind of game are we expecting between Fulham and Brighton, given the current forms of both sides?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say this one is pretty tough to predict because yeah, Fulham looked much better at home than Brighton on road recently. Like Brighton didn't win a single game in 4 rounds, but in the same time they did draw with Man City, which is a great result. So I mean, basically, I feel like Fulham is little favorite here, but it can easily go end up with a draw again. And I don't really think that both teams would be unhappy with this result. Feels like it will be okay for both sides. So I'll probably say Fulham a slight favorites, but could be a draw.
Yeah, fair point. And then the final note for this video, Victor. After 4 consecutive stalemates in the Premier League, what are the chances of Liverpool beating Bournemouth away from home?
Look, it's only January, but I think Bournemouth are already at the beach mentally. There's nothing they can achieve this season. They've already lost Semenyo. They only have the remainder of the Prem games to play. That's it. Liverpool, on the other hand, they are going to be going for it and they will be chomping at the bit to turn all these draws into wins, and they should be able to get that done here. It probably won't be a battering, but 2-0 or 3-1 is what I would expect.
Fair enough. We'll see how that one happens. But we've still got more Premier League games to talk about. And in another video, we'll be doing justice to the remainder of the games happening in round 23.